Hello everyone, my name is Unravled, but you can call me Rav, and we just got our Pokemon Presents, and at the very end we got the announcement trailer for Pokemon Winds and Pokemon Waves, and I wanted to go through and look at all of the current available Pokemon that we know are going to be in the game. Now, I know that Cerebi has all of these listed on this website, however, for myself personally, I like to know where the information came from, and Cerebi doesn't always have the exact trailer or what they found on the website or where they found it. So this is just a video to show you where these Pokemon are coming from and what we can expect to see. So let's go ahead and dive right in. At 1 minute and 10 seconds into the announcement trailer, we see these two special Pikachu here. Now, I don't think these two Pikachu are going to be able to be caught, but they are darker than normal Pikachu and they're wearing clothes, obviously. It's kind of reminiscent of cosplay Pikachu. The website for Pokemon Winds and Waves says that they're just Pikachu with a brand new look, and as you can see in this picture, they're more tan compared to normal Pikachu. And they're called Mr. Windy Chew, which I'm guessing is going to be in Winds, and Miss Wavy Chew, which I'm assuming is going to be in Waves. Now, these are not I don't think they're a variant of Pikachu, because we do see later in the trailer somebody catching a regular Pikachu. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But moving forward from them, at 1 minute 35, we see a Gloom and a Tropius. We see a Wailmer and a Wailord at 1 minute and 36 seconds into the video. At 1:46, we see two Nimble, and a little bit later we see a bunch of Tailo, but the Tailo are in this image right here. At 1:49, we see an Oddish and a Tangela. At 1:55, we see, even though there's kind of a sun in the way, it makes it a little bit hard to see, we see two Ladybug and a Ladian. At 1:57, we see a Slugma and a Sizzlipede. At 1:59, we see that Pikachu I was talking about, and it looks like a regular Pikachu. It doesn't have the same darker color as Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew, so I don't believe, unless this is a misdirect, I don't believe that those are special variants of Pikachu. At 2 minutes and 5 seconds into the video, we see a bunch of Wingull. At 2:07, we see a Sandygast and some Krabby. At 2:08, we see a Corsola running away from a Marini. At 2:10, we see a Tympole and a Carnivine in the background. At 2:14, we see two Duskull. At 2 minutes and 14 seconds, we see the three starters for Winds and Waves for the first time. We see Brout, Pombon, and Gekwa. Then at 2 minutes and 41 seconds, we don't see any new Pokemon, but I did want to point out this cloud in the right side of the screen. It kind of is reminiscent of a Gyarados, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. All the other clouds during this scene in the video are moving except for this one, so it could be pretty much anything. We'll have to wait and find out and see what that ends up being. And then at 2:51, we get the last scene of the video. We can see some Luminion at the front of the screen. We see two Frillish in the middle, followed by some Tympole in the back. We see a Toxapex, and we also see two more Wailord in the back. The Corsola over here in the corner, and there's some Krabby back there too. But those are all of the Pokemon that we see throughout the trailer, and just to quickly summarize all of the Pokemon that we see in this video, I made this quick little, not really an infographic, but I made this image that can show you every single Pokemon that we've seen, along with the assumed Pokemon. Pokemon that we saw in the trailer are marked in a light green color with announcement trailer underneath of them to say this is where we saw them for the first time. Every other Pokemon that we don't know is currently grayed out. Now, we could assume that since we saw a Duskull, that it would evolve into Dusclops and to Dusknoir, but until we see those in the actual video, I like to leave them grayed out, as it is implied, but it's not 100% guaranteed. So currently, we are looking at 54 Pokemon that we can assume are going to be in Winds and Waves. If Winds and Waves has 400 Pokemon like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet did, This is currently 1/8 of the Pokedex, or about 13.5% of the Pokedex if we're looking at it that way. And one thing I did notice while looking at this video, a large majority of these Pokemon are water type, so I'm wondering if there's going to be more flying types that we're going to be seeing for Pokemon Winds. Are there any Pokemon that you're hoping show up in Pokemon Winds and Waves? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Peace.